From a weaver's family to 3,000 crores, the untold story of Mafatlal. In the silence of the night, dust was blowing outside an old textile mill in Ahmedabad. The gate was closed, the machines were quiet, but inside lay hidden a voice of history that even today very few people have been able to hear. Often when big business houses of India are talked about, the names of Tata and Birla come to our tongue first. But the question is, was there a third player too in this exact race, whom history quietly pushed back? Imagine a weaver's son in whose house there was neither large capital nor power like the British, nor any inherited empire. He sells clothes with his father, and then that exact family makes a place in the big story of industrial India. This exact fear and curiosity make this story special. Because if a family coming out from a simple beginning can ever be counted among the country's third largest mill owners, then was the real power money or vision? This story belongs to the Arvind Mafatlal group, a group whose beginning happened from the world of cloth, but with time it tried to spread its identity to chemicals, plastics, IT, healthcare, uniforms and education technology. At the center of this story is Mafatlal Gagalbhai. According to the official group history, his birth happened in 1873 in a simple weaver's family of Ahmedabad. His father was not highly educated or rich. At a young age itself, Mafatlal understood that life would not change just by waiting. He used to set out to sell textile products with his father, and perhaps right there he took his first real training in customer quality and trust. Going from village to village with cloth on the shoulder was not an easy job. Sun, fatigue, bargaining and sometimes returning empty-handed. But these exact roads went on to become a business school for him in the future, where the fee had to be paid with sweat. Then the year 1905 arrived. Mafatlal Gagalbhai laid the foundation of his first textile mill in Ahmedabad. At that time India was in the era of slavery, and for Indian entrepreneurs, even seeing a big dream was like a risk. Cotton used to grow on the soil of India, but the dominance over textile power belonged to British mills and trading networks. In such an era, standing up an Indian mill was not just a business decision, it was a declaration of self-confidence. Mafatlal gradually understood that just selling cloth is not enough. The real power is in the control over production. When you manufacture, your grip on quality, supply and margin becomes strong. Between 1912 and 1931, the group added 4 more textile mills in Gujarat and Mumbai. This growth had not come suddenly. Behind this lay discipline, reinvestment and a deep understanding of the cloth market. Every mill was not just a factory. It ran the entire chain of local jobs, laborer families, suppliers and traders. At that time, industrial growth did not mean just profit, but the economic heartbeat of cities too. Gradually, the name Mafatlal moved out from cloth shops and reached mill chimneys. Thread turned into cloth, cloth went into the market, and reputation returned to the market as capital again. Between 1945 and 1954, the group continuously made investments in the modernization of cotton textile mills. In this very era, it emerged as the third largest mill owner of India, which in itself was a big achievement. The Mafatlal family did not build the empire overnight. They made their place by connecting mill by mill, customer by customer and trust by trust. This itself was the beauty of old Indian enterprise, less noise and more hard work. Then in 1954, a new turn arrived. Mafatlal Gagalbhai's grandson, Arvind Mafatlal, took over the reins of the group. This was not just a generation change, but rather the beginning of a conglomerate mindset from textile. Arvind Mafatlal had understood that sticking to just one sector can become a danger in the future. The demand for cloth was strong, but India was changing, and a new map of the industry was being formed. Between 1955 and 1990, the group stepped into sectors like chemicals, information technology, plastics, finance and engineering. At that time, this diversification was considered a bold move for old trading houses of India. Partnerships and joint ventures with global companies made the group's thinking even bigger. Working with names like Shell, Host and Monsanto showed that the Mafatlal family was looking from local toward global standards. Here is an interesting point. Many family businesses shine for one generation, then get stuck in a comfort zone. But Arvind Mafatlal did not let the legacy become a museum. He kept it a movement. In his era, the expansion of the group was not just a story of a balance sheet. It was the story of that India where domestic industries were making their place after independence and private enterprise was taking part in nation building. But inside every empire lies hidden an invisible challenge. The bigger the group, the bigger the decisions. The more the sectors, the more the complexity. This exact complexity becomes the real test for the generations to come. After 1990, Hrishikesh Mafatlal tried to consolidate the group's position in chemicals, gas distribution, and textiles. This was that era when India was standing before new competition after liberalization. Now the market had moved out from closed rooms and started breathing in the global air. Foreign brands, new technology, and changing consumers gave a clear message to old business houses: either change or gradually get left behind. The Mafatlal Group stepped into denim manufacturing too, and ventured with Burlington Industries of the USA. Denim at that time was not just a fabric, it was becoming a symbol of a changing youth culture. There has always been a big challenge in the textile business. Fashion changes, cost pressure increases, and margins get squeezed easily. Therefore, for old mills, heritage alone was not enough. Agility was needed too. Then after 2000, Mafatlal Industries started connecting its identity with new use cases. Entry into areas like uniform manufacturing, home furnishing, and the healthcare division was part of this exact changing thinking. The uniform business looks simple to watch, but behind it lies a big game of trust. Whether it is a school uniform, hospital linen, or corporate workwear, the customer wants consistency, durability, and timely supply. Today, Mafatlal Industries gives uniform solutions for school, corporate, healthcare, hospitality, and workwear segments. This is that exact same textile legacy, but now cloth is not just cloth. It has become the identity of the institution. The role of cloth becomes even more sensitive in the healthcare segment. There, the fabric does not just have to look good, it has to be clean, safe, and practical too. This exact change gives new relevance to old textile companies. In the period from 2019 to 2022, the group also moved toward education, technology, and services. Initiatives like Get Set Learn and Tata Tech Solutions showed that legacy companies too want to connect with digital India. During the pandemic, Mafatlal also took part in the supply of non-woven textile products like masks, gloves, and PPE kits. That era reminded textile companies that fabric can sometimes become a safety shield too. Now we come to the second big character of the story, NOCIL. NOCIL is a part of the Arvind Mafatlal Group and holds its identity as India's largest rubber chemicals manufacturer. Rubber chemicals might sound boring to hear, but these are extremely essential for the tire industry and rubber processing. Behind the tire of a vehicle running on the road, an entire invisible world of chemistry works. NOCIL's products help to protect rubber from oxygen, ozone, heat, and processing stress. To say it in simple language, these chemicals are part of the process of making rubber strong, durable, and useful. According to CRISIL, NOCIL's market share position in the Indian rubber chemicals industry has been around 40%. This fact shows that the group's influence did not remain limited only to cloth. But the path is not easy in the chemical business either. Imports from China, raw material prices, crude-linked costs, and global demand cycles can affect profitability. Therefore, along with scale, risk management is essential here too. In 2025, CRISIL considered NOCIL's financial risk profile as strong, and until March 2025, the company did not have external debt. This conservative leverage philosophy remains one of the old business discipline. NOCIL has planned a capex of approximately 250 crore rupees for antioxidant capacity expansion in Dahej. Trial operations are stated to be expected in the first half of fiscal 2027, through which a look at future growth is visible. In mid-2026, NOCIL's market cap looks around approximately 3,000 crore rupees. Market cap changes every day, but this number tells that the chemical arm of the old legacy group is still visible in the public market. This growth did not come just from nostalgia. The company saw demand in uniforms, fabrics, and institutional orders. In large institutional orders, the scale and timing of delivery alone decide the brand's credibility. The biggest lesson lies hidden here. Any 120-year-old brand does not remain relevant merely by being old. It has to ask itself in every decade, why should the customer choose me today? There are three layers in the story of Mafatlal. The first layer is of struggle, where a weaver's family reaches from the road to the mill. The second layer is of scale, where an industrial group is formed from mills. The third layer is of adaptation. When the world changes, only those companies survive that do not leave their roots, but have the courage to spread their branches in a new direction. Standing before names like Tata and Birla was not just a fight for market share. It was a fight for that confidence in which Indian entrepreneurs proved that they too can build large-scale industry. Even so, looking at this story by making it romantic would be wrong. The textile industry has faced labor issues, cost pressures, competition, technology shifts, and changing consumer tastes from time to time. This is the reason why moving out from the world of old mills and going toward an asset-light, product-focused and institutional supply model became essential. In the language of business, this can be called a journey from survival to strategy. In the current positioning of Mafatlal Industries, a glimpse of fabrics, uniforms, home textiles, healthcare products and institutional supply is visible. Old threads are now going into new markets, taking a different form. This journey tells us that for any family business, a surname is not enough. Every generation has to give its own exam, and the market does not give respect to any legacy without performance. The challenge before next generation leaders like Priyavrata Mafatlal is different. They have heritage, but the customer is digital. They have legacy, but the competition is faster, leaner, and more aggressive. The leadership of Chairman Hrishikesh Mafatlal and the strategy of the newer management are together taking the group into an era where textile, chemicals, healthcare, and education services can become separate growth stories. But the real suspense is whether a 120-year-old company will be able to remain just as relevant in the next 20 years too. Because history gives respect, but the future rewards only execution. Today, manufacturing is in discussion again in India. Trends like the China Plus One strategy, domestic supply chains, technical textiles and institutional procurement can give a chance again to old industrial groups. If groups like Mafatlal can keep quality, trust and speed together, their legacy will remain visible not just in history books, but in everyday life, in the form of school uniforms, hospital fabric and rubber products.
If this video has taught you something new, or if you feel this information should reach more people, don't forget to like and share the video. Your small share can become valuable and useful information for someone else. If you have any questions related to this topic, or if you would like to share your opinion with us, be sure to write in the comment box. We read every question and suggestion from you, because your feedback inspires us to create better content. And if you want to keep receiving such interesting and reliable information about business, the economy, and the world in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel GRT Business and also press the bell icon so that you get notifications of every new video directly. At GRT Business, we always strive to provide you with accurate, balanced, and reliable information. Our news and analysis are prepared based on information obtained from various news agencies, public sources, and public opinion. We make every effort to verify and validate each fact as much as possible, but in case of any possible error or dispute, the responsibility lies with the respective sources. Our only aim is to present you with a correct and trustworthy perspective so that you can understand any topic better.